Palm Beach Indivisibles has created an exciting new program to get out the vote in Palm Beach County called the Neighbor Network for Good Government, also known as N2G2. And we need you to make it happen. N2G2 is a network of committed volunteers who reach out to and connect with warm Democratic voters in their area, their neighbors, to help convince them of the importance of voting and encourage them to utilize the most effective get out the vote tool we have, vote by mail. What do we mean by warm voters? Warm voters are those voters who voted in one of the last two elections, but not both. They are inconsistent voters who may or may not vote in this midterm election. These are the voters we need to get to the polls in 2018. As you can see here, turnout in presidential elections, such as 2008, 2012, and 2016, is high, but many of those same voters stay home in midterm elections, such as 2010 and 2014. If you're taking the time to watch this presentation, you probably know why it's so important to get those voters to the polls in 2018. Unfortunately, we can't vote this guy out of office until 2020, but 2018 is still an incredibly important year. We need to take back the governor's mansion, re-elect Bill Nelson, win control of the U.S. House, and hopefully make serious progress in winning back the legislature in Florida. Why do so many registered voters not vote? There are many reasons why voters don't vote. They are uninformed or unaware, they are disillusioned and frustrated, they feel powerless and have given up, but sometimes they are just too busy or forget, or only vote in presidential elections because they think the other ones just don't matter. But perhaps most importantly, they don't feel engaged. How do we engage those voters? By organizing them, not just mobilizing them. Mobilizing focuses solely on getting people to the polls and relies on compelling candidates or issues with a vote for me or this message that is short-term focused. Organizing, on the other hand, is people-driven and centered, reflects community issues, and has a longer-term focus. This is what N2G2 aims to do. Why vote by mail? Because it works. The Palm Beach County Democratic Party did a statistical analysis of voting patterns focusing on vote by mail and discovered that only 42% of warm Democratic voters voted in midterm elections, but those same warm voters voted at almost twice the rate, over 80%, if they were signed up for vote by mail. It's like magic. In fact, it's so effective, the Florida Democratic Party has made vote by mail a main pillar of its 2018 strategy. This is their strategy roadmap, which I won't spend too much time on, but here is what is important. The 2010 and 2014 gubernatorial elections were decided by about 60,000 votes. The Democratic Party thinks it needs 100,000 extra votes in 2018 to win, and that those votes will most easily be gained by converting those warm voters to hot voters, who vote much more consistently, by getting them signed up for vote by mail, and that is what we're going to help them do. N2G2 creates a multi-level network of volunteers to reach out to and connect with warm Democrats, hosts them in small informal gatherings, educates them about the importance of voting in all elections, develops a sense of community that supports a voting culture and discourages failure to vote, and encourages them to sign up for vote by mail. The network is built around precinct and community coordinators, where precinct coordinators are responsible for an entire precinct, and community coordinators are responsible for a portion of a precinct, such as a gated community, who enlist their highly motivated neighbors as neighborhood coordinators to take responsibility for a portion of their area, such as a single building or section of a gated community. The neighborhood coordinators are then responsible for engaging the warm Democrats. What are we asking of you? To join the Neighbor Network as a neighborhood coordinator, invite warm Dems to an informal gathering in your home or a local public space, discuss the importance of voting in all elections, get them signed up for vote by mail, collect data from the gatherings and report it back to Palm Beach Indivisibles, and most importantly, meet your neighbors and have fun. We will provide you a welcome letter and an instructional checklist, a list of warm Dems in your area, an invitation template, a hosting guide and materials, a presentation to be shown at your gathering, and ongoing support. You might be asking, why a gathering and not just canvassing? Canvassing is a good get-out-the-vote tactic because the face-to-face contact is key. As you can see, canvassing is by far the most effective standard get-out-the-vote tactic used by campaigns and other organizations. However, Canvassing is inefficient. It's highly time intensive. Canvassing is generally done in pairs, so if you send out 2 people for 2 hours, plus a half hour of getting everyone ready and set up, you might knock 25 doors and make 5 contacts. That might sound low, but it's not. Contact rates are low. I know, I've done it. So it would take 3 canvasses to knock 75 doors and make 15 contacts. That's 15 person hours, 2 people, times 2.5 hours, times 3 canvases, to reach 15 people. 1 contact per person hour. A gathering can be handled by 1 person, and even factoring in all the time needed to create invites, stamp address and mail them, and actually host the event, you are looking at perhaps 5 hours. And you can easily get 15 people to a single gathering, so you've made 15 contacts for 5 hours of work, or 3 contacts per hour. That's 3 times more efficient. And, unlike knocking on someone's door, who you will likely never see again, and talking to them for 30 seconds, a gathering builds community. The voters meet their fellow neighbors, discuss issues that are important to them, feel like part of a team, become more engaged, and build a sense of shared responsibility to vote. Okay, let's recap N2G2. What are the goals? To develop a network of volunteers to host gatherings, develop a sense of community and civic duty among neighbors, create a habit and culture of voting, and get warm Dems signed up for vote by mail. Once developed, the network can work together as a team throughout the election cycle on additional programs, such as voter registration, education regarding constitutional amendments, postcards to voters, and door-to-door canvassing. This only adds to the sense of community. What are your next steps? Join the network as a neighborhood coordinator, receive your welcome packet and warm Dem contacts, invite warm Dems in your area to a gathering, discuss the importance of voting in all elections, and get warm Dems signed up for vote by mail. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Neighbor Network for Good Government. We need you to make this effort a success and increase turnout in November. If you are interested in joining the program, please speak to your host. Thank you and goodbye.